One of the things that I really love about the job is being able to incorporate the material that we salvage into a new project. Whether that project is a new house construction, a restoration, a remodel, anything from the hardwood flooring that we salvage out of a gym to hand-hewn barn beams. All of these materials have a past history, and their history is continued through our customers and through their projects. My name is Julie Karner. We're at Crescent Moon Antiques and Salvage at 537 North Main Street in the heart of downtown Oshkosh. Crescent Moon Antiques and Salvage started in its infancy back in 1987 with our first house. We bought an old farmhouse. It had been renovated in the 1970s with paneling and plastic trim, so we decided to take it back to its original luster.
Julie and I are really lucky because what happens is we play to each other's strengths and weaknesses. We have no formal training. I am not formally trained in design work, architecture, engineering, nor is Julie. But what we find is that having spent so many years doing this type of thing, we've developed a certain special skill set that's very conducive to what we do.
We were traveling on our way to the lumber yard to have wide baseboards made and trim works made for the house. And on our way, we were driving through the city of Appleton and saw a salvage sign, like a rummage sale sign, in the middle of a yard. And seeing that sign, we thought, what the heck does salvage mean? So we stopped, walked in this empty house, where a gentleman was sitting on a stool, and we started talking to him about the material that was going to be reclaimed before the house was brought down. We ended up going to the hardware store and grabbed crowbars and T-bars and started heading back and pulled the baseboards and trim moldings ourselves, and that's really how it started.
How is it that people are able to go in and recover these items and either repurpose them for something that they weren't originally designed to do, or to reuse them? It appears to be very complicated, but what we find is every salvage job is just one big part. And so we start dividing it up. We start taking care of the little problems, and then the big problem goes away. We just reverse engineer this building or this structure or this item, and you can find a certain spirit in how it was put together. When you start doing these types of things, when you start working with these buildings, you start to get a sense of the personality that put it together. And once you pick up on that, everything else kind of follows suit. And it's specific to regions, it's specific to cities, it's specific to buildings. We're at the point now where we can start to recognize, at least in the Midwest, where those influences were coming from and how they progressed across the United States. So we get a sense of our American history from the way not only the design was done, but how it was constructed.
What I absolutely love about what we do, about being a dealer, is the people that we meet. In the retail shop, any given day, there are a number cast of characters that we call our regulars, and it's like Cheers around here.
What we find, the reward of doing this business is not only having access to really cool material, but it's the relationships that we build with our clients and the mark that we are leaving in the future. There's a hardware store cabinet up at the front of the shop. It was built about late 1860s, 1870s. That was a dry goods store shop. Can you imagine all of the conversations that took place over that counter? All of the people that would use that counter to set their cup of coffee on, to buy their dry goods, to buy the medical supplies that they needed in order to ensure that their loved one was going to be safe. When you think about the amount of human contact that one singular piece has had, it's remarkable. And that piece might be used somewhere in the future 100 years from now. And you'll have some guy sitting on whatever digital media that we have at that time describing where it came from. And that history continues to live.